What's up, beer league hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another Dump and Skate podcast. I am the broken and decrepit ball buster, Jerry, king of the toe pick breakaway Abdoo. With me, as always, the man that makes this podcast possible, the only producer, the guy with the face for podcasting, Jeremy, king of the toe pick backchecking Holland. It's very subtle today. Very
I
subtle
learned
today.
I learned my toe pick from the best, apparently.
I did mine first. That is true.
That's right. I'm just a copycat at this point, nothing
That's
else. Not
fine.
definitely not the original. Oh man, I hate you for your background so much. Um, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome in once again to your favorite beer league podcast, the Dump and Skate podcast. We're excited to be back on here. It's back to our semi-normal recording time, so we're both probably a little bit tired than we have been. I feel like I've done nothing but travel for the last 3 weeks. We drove 7 hours up and back to Nashville, got home, was home for just a little less than a week, and then took the family on vacation for a week. So we drove 3.5 hours down to Florida, vacation for about a week, and then got back. And then youth pastor at our church was like, "Hey, will you ride with me 4.5 hours up the road to a camp? I want you to help me check it out." So jumped in the car, got home Saturday, turned around Sunday, left town again. So spent 6 hours in the car ride
Oh,
up there. It should have been a 4.5 hour ride, turned into a 6.5 6 hour ride. Was brutal. Stayed the night up there, and then got back in 4.5 hours like we were supposed to the next day. But yeah, I did the math, and it's like probably close to 30 hours in a car in the last roughly 2 weeks or so. So not
oof.
not the my legs and my back are not really friends of me right now. Just lots of and I didn't have to drive this last trip, but we rode there in like a Toyota Corolla,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I own a very large truck that I'm usually driving and riding in. So riding in the Toyota Corolla, it wasn't cramped, but it was like I felt like I had to fall down into it to get into it every single time. It was like, oh, dude, it was so brutal. So, but yeah, good times, good times. Glad to be like still and not moving around anymore. So, oh man, before we go any farther, guys, I want to remind you really quickly, if you haven't already hit the like and subscribe button, hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us a follow. Make sure you're getting the updates on the podcast when the YouTube videos, when all of that stuff comes out. Make sure you are subscribed up so you get that info and you can hear it as soon as it hits the airwaves. Follow us on the social media stuff. We're still working on Seymour to get our TikTok game going strong. I'm sure she can do something with my toe pick and do some sort of a TikTok. I don't know. It's raining men, and then have me falling down out of the sky that way. Something ridiculous. We'll get with Seymour. She'll make it look nice. So, but yeah, like, subscribe, follow, guys. We know you're listening. Have run into several of you just out and about, and you guys are listening and enjoying and all. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And then really, really quick, want to give a quick shout out. I forgot, I've lost track of who we're supposed to shout out. So I'm going to do the one that I have from memory.
All right.
Is it
Yeah.
supposed? Yeah, sorry. This is probably out of order. I apologize.
BNR.
It's okay. Well, it is.
I
I don't
think
remember.
so.
Did we do one? Did we do one for the Seymour podcast? I don't even
Um,
think we did. This
no.
is, I'm telling you, it's been a lot of travel. It's been a lot of travel. All right, we'll do. Go visit our boys at BNR. Our good friend Pete has been doing a bunch of visiting with them lately. Got elbow pads from them, got a brand new bag from them. And so you saw the jerseys, you've seen the pictures from the Nashville trip. You know what kind of work they can do on jerseys and stuff. Several of the guys have gone there for equipment, have come to us and been amazed at how rapid the stuff gets there. So don't go to these big box stores, guys. Don't waste your time. Visit our boys at BNR Sports, brsport.com. Give them a look up. Anything, everything you need for hockey. Just got an email from USA Hockey saying all the kids had to have the net guards starting this
Mm.
coming season. So I'm going to be hitting BNR here pretty soon, getting a net guard for my son. We're going to probably travel the end of the month for a little skate down in Jacksonville. We just got notice of today. So brsport.com, hit them up, boys. Get all your stuff that you need for this upcoming season. So we're in it. Let's go. So we want to talk some more about Nashville. We talk some specifics about some of the stupidity. I think we're going to talk a little bit more about the games this time. I don't think we've talked a ton about the games. We had the guys, the goalie from Baltimore on. He was a lot of fun. We had our boys,
The
Rossi,
degenerates.
the degenerates, Rossi and Cooch. My middle brother listens to the podcast. So when we were on vacation, him and his fiance were there, and we had some good laughs about some. I asked her, I was like, "Do you listen?" She's like, "No, but he tells me all about them." So it was hilarious. So shout out Matthew if you're listening. Thanks for being an avid listener. Hit the like and subscribe button, you
Yeah,
moron. Come on,
and
help us out.
share
What
it.
the heck?
We're so close to like
He doesn't
200.
really do. He actually doesn't do a lot of social media stuff.
I don't.
He's probably one of our subscribers on Spotify or something because he does listen. He was completely. So my siblings, here it comes. My
Okay.
sibling stays up to date on the podcast. He doesn't wait around for months and months worth of podcasts to accumulate to then sit around and binge listen for 3 days straight and be like, now I'm all caught up. He listens as they come out. So I'm pretty sure he's subscribed to our stuff on Spotify. So he's on Spotify all the time. For
Well,
music
my
stuff anyways.
siblings. I don't even know how many of them listen to it. But
I don't even know.
Mandy's,
I don't even know if Chris listens. He may
doesn't
not.
know
He
how.
probably doesn't.
He doesn't know. No, he
He
doesn't.
doesn't know how to use Spotify.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's like, I don't know. I just thought I listened to him on Facebook, and I'm all caught up now. Mandy's caught up. Mandy's all caught up.
Well, we know because
and
I wish I would
Chris-
have taken a picture of the screenshot like you did, where it was like, you have 77 new notifications.
Oh.
It's all Mandy liking.
Super fan.
Like, jeez. Oh, man. Come on, Mandy. Listen to them as they come out. Don't just try to like binge listen all at one time. You don't get the same
I'll
effect.
text her now. Tell her we're doing it, so she.
We're trashing her on the podcast. Hey, the first 5 minutes, man, you got to listen on the new one. You're just getting hammered here. So, oh man. So, but yeah, Matthew had a good time listening to him, and yeah, he enjoyed the Pete. He enjoyed the Rossi and Cooch one. I had
That's
a
a great
blast
one.
doing the Seymour one. She was a lot of fun. She talked more than I did, which is like very rare.
No.
We all know that.
Oh,
No, she
no.
did. We had to interrupt. You go back and listen to the clips you posted, and she's like chatty Cathy, and I had to like interrupt, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead." I'm like, "Wow, this is a first ever." Like usually it's me being like, "Oh, my bad. You
She
go ahead and talk."
that post on Instagram has over 2,000 views and only like 10 likes. People, like, can you just like it and share it? We definitely will have Kelly on again. What's what the look?
Reading
What's-
text messages, and I'm
Why are
reading
we
the
doing this
text
during a
messages from
podcast?
Rob. I just because
Why are we
like
doing this
won't
during-
stop alerting, and he's like, "It's only this much." I'm like, "Dang it, Rob! What are you?" At least he admitted he was a bad influence in the text message. Good grief! It's only this much money. Only okay, great. Oh gosh. Anyway,
So what I was
sorry.
saying before you did the look,
Totally
we definitely
messed
want to
you
get
up.
we definitely want to get Kelly on again. She has great stories.
It was funny because she didn't think she had any. And we
No,
were in the
she
group
was-
text before the podcast. She was like, I don't know. All I really have is the one. And we got to talking, and we would say one thing. She was like, oh, yeah, that reminds me. And then she'd
Yeah.
just start going off on a story. And I was like, all right, well, there's another good story. So, yeah, she had several good ones. It was a lot of fun talking to her. She's done a lot of hockey all over. So those were some really neat stories. She had Chicago stories, Colorado stories. So a lot of fun. Good video of her dumping that chick, too. That was hilarious. So, oh, man, speaking of dumping people, we'll just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, the picture behind you. You've heard us talk about it before. This was in the young kids game, and we got a couple of videos we'll roll here. So if you don't watch the YouTube and you only listen to the Spotify, you're going to have to get off the Spotify, go watch the YouTube for a little bit, and just kind of see what we're talking about.
The picture behind me for the people that are listening to Spotify is a picture of Holland. I was going to say this on social media, but I didn't know if I could use this term or not. But so I used the term ghost, but there was a sniper in the stands, and he shot Holland, and out of nowhere, Holland just falls. No one around him,
it's
Sunrise.
just brutal.
So if you're watching this on
ice-
YouTube, here's our
Center ice line. Center ice line just jumped up. You can see it right here. Just straight up grabs the toe and won't let me keep going. I told you, like, I recovered. I as soon as I ate it, I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. Like I didn't realize. I think it was Pabst on the far side of me. Like I didn't realize Pabst was there, and so I thought, like, oh gosh, I'm in trouble. Like it's a 2-0. Like we're dead. And so I was trying my best to like get back on my feet and everything. And I mean, I felt it in the moment. Like I was struggling to get back up and get back on my feet. And you can see it in the video. Like it looks like an 85-year-old man falling down and like trying to get back up off the ground. It is awful.
If you're
awful,
like my
awful.
dad and listening on Apple or anyone else listening on Spotify, go back and look at our YouTube because Holland figured out how to get the video to play as we're talking right now. So the video is actually playing of him falling at center ice. And
Also, we're just gonna as we go, we're gonna break down this play a little bit because all this could have been avoided if right here, Chris Holland is stepping up to make a play on the puck and totally fumble farts it into his feet and then tries to recover and fumble farts yet again, forcing all of us to have to hurry to try to get back. So if Christopher would have just done his job and held the zone by dumping it back in, instead of fumble farting the puck, I would probably have not eaten it, like at least not in this game. Again, not the first time this has happened. I've toe picked before just like this. Just got a little out over my skis trying to get back. I was chasing down a kid that I knew was faster than me. And so I was trying to get, going as quick as I could. And yeah, just.
Well, when I sent that video to Lindsay, I did tell her that you were trying to dive and stop a pass. I didn't say that, but
No,
it looks like
not.
you're diving. It looks like you're diving to stop a pass or a shot
Yeah.
at
I was
first.
like, I got it. No, the stick was, like not even a little bit. Like as soon as I hit the ice, like the stick is beside me. Like the momentum of the impact like drags it in front of me, but there is no attempt.
Your head bounces too.
Dude, and I told you, and like, and I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but I felt really bad between games and like I was aching and stuff and just super, super sore. And I like my right arm and my ribs and stuff were killing me. And I didn't really, really feel it until we kind of got out there for the next game. And I told you, I was watching this video kind of for the first time, like on any kind of a loop. And I was like, dude, this 100% is what did it. Like I slammed on the right side of my body with my right arm, like out in front of me. So whatever it did, it 100% pulled stuff. Again, old people, old man, like that was.
That's what you get for making fun of me, though, buddy.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was.
It all comes back
Hurt
to
so
you.
bad. And so I love how you meshed these two videos together. We'll do this one because I'm not the only old man out there. As you can see, this is Abdoo getting ready to hit the ice for us, and you can hear the hinges creaking as he hits the ice to go out there. Now,
I never hopped the boards. Just because
you did
it hurts
then, but we were in a bit of a pickle here because I don't want to blame this on Chris because I don't even know if he's on the ice, but I'll just blame it on Chris. It looks like something happens where we get like royally screwed. If I remember right, I was deep in the zone and I had carried it in, ended up deep in the corner, and nobody had cycled high for me. In fact, whoever's changing for you, I think was the guy that I thought was cycling high, but that did not cycle high and cover for me. Instead, just went to the bench. And so we lose the puck and they come out with like, I think it's 3 guys. I'll stop it here and do a quick head count. And so, yeah, they've got 3 guys in the zone and we have 3 guys trailing. So it's literally a 3-on-2 and I'm the closest guy coming back. And so I don't know if I was the deepest guy in our zone or in their zone before this play, but I remember coming out of the zone, getting to center ice and realizing, oh no, our help has left the ice. And I yelled at you and I was like, you gotta cover. And you can tell, you can see the point at which you hear me yelling because you climb over the boards, not in a particular massive hurry, but you climb over the boards and your feet kind of both hit the ice and then you immediately take off.
Hey, can we just talk that you even after that play you said thanks. You thanked me for
dude.
covering for
well,
you.
because I was in trouble. Like we were in big trouble because the guy coming up the ice was completely uncovered. I mean, if you don't get back in front of him, he is coming up the ice.
It's a
They are
3-on-1.
sending him a pass.
It's
a
potentially a
3-on-1 with our other defensemen way out of the play. Like there was no way I was catching that lead guy. And so I knew I could catch the trailer, the third guy trailing, and you can see I come right over to him. So that's me that catches him and then carries over in front of Kyler. And so, but it's still like, I was in full panic mode because
let the record show you did thank me and that I did.
100%. Abdoo turns his hips, plays defense, tangles the guy's stick up,
For all you
takes him to the
guys that
corner.
say Abdoo doesn't back check, Abdoo doesn't play defense, that's hockey IQ right there. That was right off the bench into defensive mode. It was
100%.
all natural. Didn't have to think twice about it.
I'm not going to call it natural. There was a tremendous amount of compelling happening on
Well,
the
look,
ice
I don't
for
hop
me.
the
Like,
boards. I don't
you
hop the
have to
boards.
cover. Yeah, it was.
I didn't even hear you yell
pulled
at me, honestly.
bull
I didn't even
crap.
hear you. Swear to
Bull
God.
crap! You looked
Hand to
right
God.
at me. You
Hand to
looked
God.
right at me.
Hand
when
to God. I
yelled.
don't.
You
I
looked right at me.
If there was a Bible here right now, I would honestly swear on it that I did not hear you say a word to me.
I don't have mine on this table. You looked right at me.
Yeah, just because I look at you doesn't mean I heard you. Give me a Bible. Give me a Bible right now.
So let's go back to mine. So let's just talk about. So right there, I hear someone yelling from the bench.
That was me.
Right, and so this whole time, like the rest of the tournament, I eat it, and I'm like, okay, I got to get back on my feet. Like I've got to get back on my feet. And I hear someone from the bench going, "Come on, Holland! Come on, Holland!" And I'm thinking it sounded kind of like Pete to me at first. And I was like, all right, Pete's like giving me the like, "Attaboy, you can do it. Get
Pump
up,
you
right?"
up. Pump you up. It's okay, kid.
No, I find out later it's Abdoo going, "Come on, Holland! Like, what's your problem? Get off the ice!" I'm like, jeez.
You know what? I'll play the real
man.
video with the audio in it at this point.
Oh man, do you have the? Well, I don't think you have the "Come on, Holland."
I do.
You can
It's
hear
not-
it.
Yeah. Here, I'll play it for the social media post.
Put it
but let
on.
me-
Put it on social media because it'll probably sound kind of rough on this one.
It might sound rough. Yeah.
Yeah, we got spanked around by these kids this game. It was tough. They were. You can kind of see in the two clips those boys were rolling pretty good.
Oh yeah, you can hear it. Hold on. No, it's on a loop. Well, I'll do it for social media.
Social media. You have to clean up the audio and isolate it. Yeah, those kids were rolling. The Baltimore game was a little more fun. We don't have any good videos from that, I don't think. Oh yeah, we do. Where's our? Oh, you never sent me. Man, we should have had that one ready to go. Our Selly video. Have you put it on social media?
I have not yet. Maybe
All
I'll
right,
use
so
that
we're gonna
one.
talk. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna
Right.
talk about it. We got called out that we can't really actually use it and call it anything. You said somebody told you it was a Patrick
Kelly
Kane
Seymour.
Selly.
Kelly
Seymour
Seymour
told
said
you it was a Patrick Kane Selly.
and Andrew Shaw did it.
Yeah, so it's not as cool that we've done it because now we feel like copycats. But I don't care.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
it
I
was
think that's because we put a name to it.
100%. It's ours now.
Yes, we
Screw those guys.
trademarked it.
Patrick Kane.
Just because someone jumps into the boards, off a celebration doesn't mean that someone else can't do it and trademark it. It was just based off of emotion is what we did. You shot the puck, I got the rebound, put it in, you skate away. You skate away, and I go,
And then
Titanic.
Everything went a little weird. Yeah, everything got a little awkward after that.
If I send
Which
it
was
to you
funny.
now,
I
is
was
it too
gonna
late?
It might take me a minute to try to upload it, and that'll be hard for me to do. You can try to send it to me.
All right.
How are you going to send it? You going to send it a text or an
I'm
email?
going to send it to you text, yeah. Bear with us, guys. We're doing this on the fly. This is how prepared we are. We are.
Oh, this is phenomenal. We're so good at these things. So, the Baltimore game was a little more fun. Like we said, we kind of watched those guys warm up, and I said this in a previous podcast. We watched I watched the second or third skater come out and basically start practicing C cuts to skate backwards, and I was like, all right. So if this entire tournament is like this, we're going to look like jerks for coming down here. At one point in the game, Pete was asked, "Are you like an A plus player or something?" Which Pete laughed and was like, "No, I don't even know what that is, but no, I don't think so." And so those guys were legit a ton of like first timers, beginners, and it was
Good people, though. Good people.
very good people. You definitely were trying very, very hard to flirt with one of the girls that I didn't even get a clean look at, so I'm not even sure what you were doing or
Well, she gave me
how that
the
worked out.
she gave me the, hey, you're a really good hockey player. You look really good. So that's what
She said that?
lie. No, it was a total lie. I was trying to shut up, Holland. It was a total lie.
Well, you said she gave me, and I didn't know if that meant like She gave you like
She
a
didn't.
look of some sort.
Not at all. Not at all.
So you
And
were
here,
just legit
I,
like perving a bit on.
oh, 100% I was. Chicks with sticks. I love chicks that can play hockey. Big fan. Did you get the video?
I did. I'm trying to get it to jump in
Okay.
there now.
Yeah.
See how this goes. It's
But yeah,
gonna come in kinda hot
back to
on
the
me for
Baltimore
everyone
team.
to see.
Good people, good sports. That's why we had them on the podcast. Shout out Alex. But they kind of got screwed for that tournament. Just
They
in the
did. That
seeding,
was,
it was
yeah. Well, they thought they were coming down and playing in a true D division.
yep, yep.
And we thought, I don't think we had any hopes of a. So we can probably talk a little bit about that, right? So the division we were in, I guess, or the sorry, I'm trying to do
Yeah. I can
several
tell
things in
you.
the background.
Let's focus here.
Yeah. So the division, you're the one that sent me this. The division we signed up for was a, what do we say? What did we sign up for? Like a 30 and over.
30 and over, like sea level.
Right. And so the Canadian team that was there, we think signed up for roughly the same thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then the kids
The
team,
kids,
the kids team
signed
told
up.
us that they
They
signed up for a 19 and
just
over like open division,
yeah,
and we were like,
they messed it all up.
yeah, you're 100% a 19 and over open division team.
But
So
they were originally trying to sign up in the one that Val
correct.
played for, but you put a bunch of 21-year-olds in charge of signing something up, a bunch of stoners too. Trying to
Apparently they
sign
all
up. Yeah.
apparently they all forgot they didn't have money, and so it was just a big problem. You can't sign up for a tournament without money. I know that's a shock to a lot of people, but you actually cannot sign up for a tournament if you don't pay to be a part of that tournament. And so that was a difficult hurdle for them to overcome that they then fixed by jumping into ours at the last minute. And they basically were like, oh, yeah, the tournament director was kind of like grateful that we were coming in because it gave them 4 teams instead of just 3 teams, because 3 teams would have been, like not ideal. I'm like, I don't know. Not ideal is having to play you guys for a
Right.
game. I think I would have been okay with just playing the other 2 teams and playing one of them an extra time. Like, that's okay. That would have been a little more palatable than having to
But yeah,
get beat
the
up by
Baltimore
you
team was
guys.
good. Um, was it 11-0 final or a 12-0 final score?
Who? Oh, I think it was 11.
Okay.
I don't know. Their goalie had a little better memory of that than we did. There she is.
Yeah. Who's she?
All right, I got the video. Hang on.
I didn't know
So,
that.
all right. So this is gonna. Let me see if I can figure out a way to do this. It's not gonna be. Bear with us on the video, on the audio here for a second, guys. It's gonna be like ridiculously loud for just a split second. I'm really, really sorry. If Abdoo would have been more prepared,
Oh
then
yeah.
I would have been able to do this a little quicker. All right, I got it. So this is
The
the
Titanic
Celly.
Sally.
This is the Titanic Celly here. So we've got it up, and I've killed the volume on it. So yeah, so here is the carry it through and shoot. Abdoo buries it into an empty net.
You get to like the blue line, and then you just stick your arms
their
out.
arms go out there, and we have
I just hold
contact.
on to him. Yeah.
Yep.
If you guys watch,
Yep, it's
this is a reenactment
put
of
my-
the one that we did in Savannah.
this one's actually better than the one in Savannah. So I put my arms out, and I actually bend over to take the draw, and I would have 100% skated the rest of that shift with you like space docked to me here. But you had to change. And so I
Yeah,
don't know
I
why
had
I guess you weren't looking, because I would have assumed you would have been like, no, I'll stay another 30 seconds. Like, I'm good. Get back off the ice. And so You did
I
not.
think
So
Ponton had my position, and I didn't want to, long shift. But it would have been funny if we just stood like that
that's
during a
you
face.
know what? That's the hardest you've skate. I've seen you skate in a good minute. Watch this. So you get your goal, and then watch this. Clearly, you say Titanic, and so I go arms out, and you are hustling to catch up. Like that is
I just saw man ass, and I was going for it. I just saw an opportunity.
oh man. Space dock locked. Good
Maybe we could call it
grief.
the space dock Titanic.
Space dock
The
Titanic.
space.
Good grief. That's
There is
certainly a
another
unique
video I
name.
want to send you of me.
Okay.
I was playing completely. I posted it because the keyboard bandit Asaro said, "Oh, Jeremy never, Abdoo never back checks and everything like that." I have proof that I back checked and actually made a play happen, but I don't want to send it. I'll post it. Or do you want me to send it to you? I mean, the
It's
whole
gonna be
play
another.
started.
It's gonna be another multiple minute of
Yeah,
me
I don't. That's
trying to do
exactly why I don't want to do it. That's
something
exactly why
as
I don't want
opposed
to do
to
it.
something different.
Because you go like, yeah. So Abdoo had the puck, and
It's gonna
then
be yeah,
hold on a second here. Abdoo had
phenomenal
the
podcast material.
puck.
Gosh.
Yeah. You okay? Yeah, I'm just trying to do too many things here. So that's why I don't want to. That's why I don't want to send it. But
You're not built. You're not built to
this
carry the podcast. Apparently, if I
the
if
the
I
play.
can't ramble on and on, like there's nothing for you to make
Well, you
fun
do
of.
it at the
So
like. I'm not prepared for it. Like the one time, you just got up and left, and I'm like, okay, I'll take over. You don't even
it
give me
was
a
you and
heads
your.
up.
It was you and that was the one with I think you and when we had your nephew on. And I
Yeah,
was
and
just like,
then
"Boink." I messaged and it was like, "Be right back." Got up and left.
but anyways, maybe I'll post this one on our social media too. That
Yeah.
the play that I'm talking about started from our own circle. I made it past our own circle, like almost goal line. That's how far deep in I went, people. I back checked, you fuckers that tell me that I don't, and I chased the puck. And this is against the young kids too. Uh, so
I think everybody back checked against the young kids. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. It would have been a lot nicer to play the young kids dead last and not have to play them the second game and then play the Canadian guys last. We would have probably played a little better against the Canadian guys. We were pretty gassed after the chasing those kids around that game. And again,
and the night
hindsight being
before,
what
and
it
the night
is,
before too, it didn't help. We were
that did
all,
not
or
help
you
at
guys were
all.
all, you guys were all, IV
Yeah, that
bags or not. That you guys were just
yeah, that was
should have put some caffeine
unwise.
pouches in those IV bags.
We did talk about the caffeine pouch, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Well, we briefly went into it. We could talk about it.
Oh my gosh,
So
that was funny.
Holland,
So between like again, picture there of me eating it. Between games, the majority of us were pretty tired. There was nothing. We
gassed.
couldn't eat anything because it was like an hour turnaround between
They brought
games.
in Hannah. But hey,
That's
your
right.
favorite, the Chick-fil-A special, like almost like $200 worth of Chick-fil-A, and
Chick-fil-A.
they did not last long, honestly.
No, they did
We
not.
wolfed
Yeah.
that down in between games, and then Holland, since he's been on this health kick, and it depends on the day. Sometimes it's 25 pounds or 20 pounds lost. Sometimes it's 10 pounds lost. Sometimes it's 2 pounds lost. Right now we're at 15 after his vacation, and his where did you go just the other day?
Look up Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
All right, yeah, he went to South Carolina. He did a South Carolina 8 dump poop cleanse. So now he's probably back to
That
he's
was
probably
brutal.
he's
That
probably
was
back to 17 pounds total lost versus the 2. But he has a heart rate. I got him to get a heart rate monitor, which tracks his heart rate monitor or his heart rate, his calories burned. That way, you can watch his recovery and just for his workouts as well. He wore it during both games. Second game, he did a
actually
caffeine
wore
pouch.
it during all 3 games.
Oh, you did
We
wear it?
actually,
Okay.
so we worked out before the first game that morning.
Yeah.
Wore it during that and tracked everything, and it was my heart was doing what we wanted to do. It was elevating and then relax and elevating, and we wore it. I wore it during the first game, and it was kind of odd. Like it went up and down, up and down a couple times, and it kind of went up and just it kind of stayed.
Hmm.
I don't know, like 130 or something like that. It never really got super super high or anything. And again, we know why. None of us were putting forth a good a lot of effort, except for you skating to space dock the Titanic, Sally. And so, but yeah, so then I had it on in the second and third games. The game against the kids, of course, it does exactly what we think it's going to do. It's spiking and dropping and spiking and dropping. And so it burned.
It showed how hard you were hustling and your recovery rate, your recovery.
You can probably see the toe pick moment on there.
His heart rate's up, and then it just flattens out.
It spikes really high and then flatlines.
It just flatlines just as he's sliding across the ice.
Sliding across.
So the third game, Einstein says, "Hey, I need some caffeine. I'm going to put a caffeine pouch in my mouth."
Well, hang on. I didn't say I need some caffeine. Pete came in and had like a Zen pouch of caffeine things. He was like, "Does anybody need some caffeine before we hit the ice?" This was probably like, I don't know, 20 minutes before we got on the ice. And so
right
we were
before our it's raining men video.
Yeah. No.
No, that was the second game.
That was the kids game.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we were. I mean, again, we were all like zombies getting ready for that third game. We were tired, and so there were several of us grab some of those pouches and put it in the mouth, and go ahead.
And so I don't know how many milligrams of caffeine was in that. I'm not even sure. Enough, but I was outside talking to Zach. This is about a half an hour after the game. You come and talk to me, and you're like, I'm still in the heart rate monitor. My heart rate is still at 125 beats. I go, Holland, that's very high for it to be after 25 minutes. You just reach into your mouth, and then I didn't know you did a caffeine pouch. It looked like you had a tampon in your mouth, and you just flung it. Flung it.
A brown tampon in my mouth. Gross.
You just flung it out, and you're like, oh, that could be why. And I go, what is that? Caffeine pouch. And I go, oh, you stupid. Can't imagine why my heart rate is up when I'm sucking on nothing but pure caffeine. And then as soon as you take it out, your heart rate just goes zoom. It goes back.
Oh. No, it took a minute for it to flatline, but it finally dropped back down. But it was, dude, I was like, I can't get my heart to settle down. Like I could feel it on the bench. It was like my heart was just racing.
You're not a caffeine guy at all either. So like me, I do
not in that dosage.
I do a pre-workout before every game. I don't do a full scoop because I don't want to have heart murmurs or anything like that.
You also were sniffing them off of Rossi's bare backside, which I thought was weird.
Look, what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room. I thought we talked about this, and it wasn't his bare back; it was his bare backside.
That's what I said, bare backside. His
bum.
Well,
first of all, Dad, if you're listening, this is not true. This didn't really happen. Holly, could you just say it didn't happen, please?
I may have photo evidence. We'll see.
Dad and Mom, this didn't really happen. I didn't.
Oh, that's right. Mandy's trying to sabotage.
Oh, Mandy. So, Mandy, shout out to my sister here. She came over for the.
Don't worry, she won't hear this for another month or two.
she came over for the 4th of July, and we're all sitting at the table as a family. And Mandy goes, Mom, you should listen to the podcast and hear Jeremy's secrets. And I go, no. Mom's like, I've heard some of them. I go, yeah, you heard the tame parts. Like, there's parts like
you don't need to
start talking. And I go, oh, Mom, we should listen to this one. Like, we should listen. So,
Mom, here's the intro. We'll just fast forward to Holland's part. There's Holland's intro. Man. Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
First, wait. Let's rewind it.
Caffeine pouch.
Don't talk.
Okay.
Don't. Because if you talk, it'll take half an hour. Dad and Mom, I did not snort any pre-workout off of Rossi's back. I swear. Just like I didn't hear Holland, I swear to you, I did not. Okay.
Oh, man.
I back-checked. And wait, just one more thing. I want the record to show. Oh, no, not Mom, Dad. This is more for the Savannah.
The D cups of the world.
The D cups of the world and all the other D cups. We'll just call them D cups. I was going to call them fuckers, but if I call them fuckers, they're not going to know who they are. So all the other guys, you did say, and I want all the fuckers to hear this in Savannah, you said that I played really well this tournament.
I said you played better this tournament, I thought, that you did in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you
That's
played
also
better,
because I benched myself the third game. So,
which was which was a weird occurrence.
well, look, I know
And
how
then
much you
was
guys
what was
wanted to
even
win.
weirder, what was even weirder was you did it, and after the game, I was like, wait, you benched yourself? What happened? I didn't even know that happened. Now, in my defense, the third game we played almost the entire game with only basically three defensemen
Your brother was late.
because was having to get his windows fixed and all. Did we ever talk about that? His windows getting
No,
smashed and
we
all
will
that
talk
stuff?
about that. Let everyone know because this didn't
Oh,
happen in the
dude.
locker room, and it's not like I
Yeah,
snorted
this was
anything off of Rossi's back. So
off of
this
his
didn't
truck.
happen.
Yeah. So this is fair game. So yeah, first game we go. Everybody's feeling great because we beat that team 11-0. I think we ended up going out that night to watch the sixth game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Went to the Barstool Bar, had a really good time, hung out, and I think we just left after that. Some of the guys
I
stayed there a
went
little
back
later.
because I wanted to hang out with your brother because I felt bad that he couldn't come out. Texted him, "Hey, I'm
Oh,
on
that
my
was the night we got drug around by Grant to the L.A.
yeah."
Jack's
And
place. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
texted your brother, said, "Hey, I'm coming back to the hotel." And he said, "Cool, let me know when you're here." I felt bad because he couldn't come out with all of us, so that's why I went back. And next thing I know, I'm texting, calling, doesn't answer. He fell asleep. I could have hung out with you guys, and he falls asleep.
And have been a part of the insanity. Yeah, that was the night that Packard went pretty hard every single night. So
He's young;
that
he can
was
do that.
I guess
They're
I don't
all-
know. Anyway,
But
so yeah, we went out, had a good time, got up the next morning, breakfast got ready, and we get ready to go leave probably around lunchtime, I guess. And the first night I had actually parked in like the Music City parking garage, and then when we all came back, I was like, forget it, I'll just park in the parking lot right behind our hotel. So there's the block we were on basically has two or three hotels. They all make like a big L shape, and there's a
mhm.
parking lot behind it that you can probably fit, I don't know, 60 cars in if you wanted to. It was never particularly full. We understand why now, but it was never really particularly full. It also cost like $50 to park there, and so I was like, you know what, it's right here. I don't feel like walking all the way back from the parking deck. Like it's fine. So I park there. Christopher parked his truck back there. We get up, we get ready to go, grab the truck, pull through, load the hockey bags up. And Christopher walks back there first and calls me. He goes, dude, my truck got broke into. And so sure enough, walk back there. I said, please check my wife's car and make sure it didn't get broke into too. And he goes, he looks, he's like, nah, it's good. It's clean. He was like, but they hit four trucks in the parking lot. So they did 100%. They grabbed four different trucks back there, smashed. I think Christopher and trying to remember if that truck had its back window. There was another truck. So Christopher and one other guy were actually in the parking lot there. And I think it was the other guy that spotted his first. They'd already called the police. Christopher was the second or third person out there. There were two trucks that we didn't know whose they were or anything like that. So nobody knew, what all was going on with those. And I don't think anybody ever found out because, police came later and Christopher left. But they had smashed two of Christopher's windows, the driver's window, and then the passenger's rear seat window. The other truck, the guy was there. I think they smashed his like back glass window as well as like the rear like passengers right behind
Is
the
that the
driver.
just married truck? Because there was one
No,
truck
no,
that
no, no,
said
no. The just married truck was a really nice,
really nice truck.
like
Denali.
3/4 ton Denali that had just married written all over the windows and everything, and they had smashed, I think, only one of the windows in it. But yeah, they ransacked Christopher's truck. Sounds like they stole some guns from some folks and some cash. They didn't get Christopher for any cash, but they did
They
steal.
it's
They
potato. They
stole a
just
pew
took his
pew.
chips,
Yeah, they stole. They stole a box full of potato
box
chips.
of
Freaking
chips.
jerks. And so Packard was most upset about that. So yeah, that delayed the crap out of everything. So he made it to our second game, but he got there a little bit later. I think Cooch ended up calling an Uber to come get him.
Yeah,
We got all our bags there. Got his bag there. Got the got him there, and right after the game, he was trying to call insurance to get everything planned, and so he ends up having to hightail it back out of there after the game. I think he got an Uber ride back to the hotel, got in his truck, and drove like the 15-20 minute ride to the hotel, and then like another 20-minute drive, or not, 15-20 minute drive towards the rink, and then had to go like another 20 minutes past that to a glass place, and he messaged me. I think our game was like 4:30. He messaged me at like 4:15. He was like, "I'm not making the game." He was like, "This is a cluster. It's a nightmare. Like it's just a mess." And like the insurance company had sent him to this shop and given him all this information, but whoever the underwriter was for the insurance or whatever their job was had apparently called in to a shop in Savannah and not the shop there in
Oh,
Nashville.
I
So
didn't
when
know that.
Christopher,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
when Christopher shows up, the shop in Nashville was like, "Yeah, no, we talked to you, but your insurance company didn't call in and give us approval to do your work." And he was like, "We've got the glass and I can fix it." And Christopher's like, "I just need it fixed. I have to drive home tomorrow." And the guy's like, "We're not open. Like we stayed open just for you to get here." So Christopher ended up paying, I don't remember what it was several $100s out of pocket to get these guys to replace the windows. So, but it was a huge nightmare, big cluster. He called the insurance company, fussed at the lady, and she was like, "Oh, it looks like they sent it to Savannah." And he was like, "I'm not in Savannah. I'm in Nashville. Like I made this abundantly clear." So he's going to have to fight all that stuff and they'll get it sorted out. But it's just, he was out of pocket more money
Right.
for something he had nothing to do with. And so it was just a huge mess and just kind of like that, like set the tone for that whole day. That whole day was just kind of a gong show between us, you know, playing the kids and getting pushed around by those young kids a little bit. Pushed around is the wrong word. Just kind of getting out energied by those young kids, and then playing the Canadian guys. And man, that was just
Well,
was a nightmare.
back to the original statement that started all this. I did bench myself because I knew how bad you guys wanted to win, and I wasn't doing much to contribute at that point because
Look,
my hip has had enough.
you said you were pretty sore after that weekend.
I mean, you saw me limping around during Nashville, or Corey.
Yeah.
Corey even said that. By the way, that was 17 years ago. Yesterday was my motorcycle accident.
I saw your post.
Yeah, but anyways, you said I played better. Not that I'm a horrible player, but I'm not the best player on the
I
team.
didn't think
for
you
sure.
played bad. I didn't think you played bad in Jacksonville, but it felt like in Jacksonville,
I was as good as the people around me.
it felt like the pace was a bit much for you.
Oh yeah,
But I think the
I should have
pace was
benched myself in Jacksonville.
the pace. I felt like, yeah, we only had 10 skaters. That would have been really bad. I think it felt like the pace for a lot of the guys in Jacksonville was a problem.
Yes.
And so it wasn't like it was just you. And so I didn't feel like, now again, Jacksonville had a lot more A-League guys than this did. We played a team full of young guys, and that made it difficult on us because we're a team full of old guys. But again, I think we all held our own pretty well in that game. Yeah, a handful of mental mistakes. I talked with Grant after that game, and I've said this a couple of times now, that we kind of ran around in that game. We got out of position. And so I think we did ourselves a lot more damage in that game than we needed to.
I think so too. I think at one point everyone was trying to be the hero, because
Well, we're also 10, 11 guys that have never really played together a whole lot. So like
no, but
Pete and I have played together some. Well, some of that does. I mean, if you've got chemistry with guys, you kind of understand where they're. We talked
100%.
about this. We
That's
talked
why
about
me
this
and Zach.
on your.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this on your goal, and I was like, I did not see you on the backside, and I asked, I was like, were you in the slot when I shot? Were you in the slot? Should I have slid it over to you? And you said no, I was over in the corner. And so there's just certain spots, like when you play with guys for a certain amount of time, you kind of know how they're going to react. And so I've played with my brother a fair amount, but he and I playing defense together, I don't know, that's something we've done a whole lot of. So that was like the toe pick thing, right? So that was, you can go back and watch that video, and you can see the way that starts is I'm deeper in the zone than him, right? And I'm standing flat-footed, like I have no intentions of back checking because I see he's the high man with the puck, and I'm assuming he's going to just flick it in deep. So I make an assumption about how he's going to play the puck. He doesn't play that way, and now I'm in a panic,
Right.
and now I'm trying to hustle back. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like if I would have thought like, hey, he may handle it at the point being the last man back, I need to go ahead and take a couple strides. I would have already been deeper than him just in case. And so it's stuff like that. So like, and it was really weird where there were a couple of times where, and I think it was with the forward line of like you, Zach, Corey, and Pat. Like I didn't know guys were going to break out to do anything. It wasn't something that we were doing on a regular basis. So there wasn't always a guy. I ended up down low in the kids game with the puck thinking I was looking at Rob standing right next to me, and I chip it over to the boards to him. And it wasn't even Rob. It was one of the other guys with one of those like multicolored jerseys on. I just was looking out of the corner of my eye. Well, there were 3 of their guys with me behind the net at that point.
I'm
And I was
seeing a
like, there's
pattern.
yeah, I was like, there's no way there's three guys from the
You
other
just
team back here.
you
Yeah,
just like
just
passing to the other team.
bad hockey. That's one incident. I didn't talk about passing it to anybody else. So yeah,
But you've done
again,
it before.
it's just a matter of yeah, that's a long time. So it's just a matter of I think that plays a bigger role in how we play than
I
I
get
think we
it, yeah. But
realize.
with the talent we had, I think everyone knew how to play the sport and how to play and where to be. It's
A
just
100%. We know how to play the sport. We know how to be in the right position
we
and
just don't
stuff.
know if we could play a little bit more. We would know. Okay, this is like
Right.
Pete's style of
Like you
play.
would, well, so like you would, a big thing is like, what does a defenseman like to do when he gets the puck? And what does a forward like
Right.
to do when the defenseman gets the puck?
Yep.
Those are the things that like we don't really know. So like if you guys would begin to recognize this happened to me in Jacksonville. So I was low in the corner. I was at the tail end of a shift and I was gassed. I didn't have a lot of energy to jump out of the zone. And so I get the puck and I turn in the corner and I'm not moving my legs. And that should have signaled to anybody that's ever played with me before as a forward, like I've got to get low and help Holland out. Like he's not moving his legs much. If I don't get low and give him an outlet pass, we're in trouble. I'm going to be asking him to make a really, really long pass, and that's a danger spot. Well, I had to do that, and I fired it, and it just turned into a disaster because the person I passed to couldn't catch a pass. And so, right? And so at the same time, if you guys say, okay, Holland's picked up the puck in the corner as a defenseman, and he's coming up the boards and he has a lane, I'm going to clear the lane for him, or I'm going to carry a guy with me, but I'm going to peel back in and replace behind. Like all of that stuff you get when you play with guys regular enough and you get a feel for, hey, Chris is
Right.
one that I know if Chris gets a lane as a defenseman, Chris is going to take off. So if I'm paired up with Chris and I'm playing with him, I'm going to hang back a little bit and stay the deep man or the high man and let him carry the puck in. I don't do that as much, especially not at a tournament like this. If I've dropped down and playing at a lower level, I'll do that because I've got comfortability and confidence. I'll be able to get back without a lot of issues.
Right.
So that's a rarity for me. So guys that will play with me on a regular basis will know that, and they'll adjust their style accordingly. Like the guys that play with me on A League, the other defenseman I'm paired with will typically be a rushing defenseman, and I'll be a stay-at-home defenseman. So
Right. And it's just like, again, like you said, the more you play with someone, the more you know. Like
yeah,
C League, I know that if your brother has it, if he's on defense, he'll like to skate it up, right? You
correct.
know, or like in Jacksonville, if we're on a power play and you're out there playing defense, somehow Abdoo ends up playing defense on a power play and has to cover for you again.
Those were such awful power plays too. By the way,
The
they didn't
worst.
see. That's the other thing that let me know we were a little out of sync is because we had a handful of power plays at this tournament too,
And Abdoo's on defense.
and we did not. We just didn't play particularly well. I mean, we would gain the zone, and then we struggled to move the puck with any sort of
Right. Yes.
good ability. And it wasn't like we had bad players. We had good players out there. We just kind of didn't know how to play together and set those things up. Again, that comes from playing with people. I think one of our power play things was against the kids, and so that made it tough because those kids were fast. They were quick to get on you at the points and stuff like that. And so it made it a little more difficult. Where we were probably used to kicking it to the point and being able to relax for a breather for just a second and kind of survey. Those kids didn't really let you do that. And again, that's the right way you play. And that's there's so the pace of play and our unfamiliarity with playing with one another, I think caused some of that. Again, not that we didn't have a talented team, not that we didn't have good skaters. I think we just a few more skates together, and we'll probably look a little better and look.
I think
The Canadian guys paid us a compliment pre-game. They were like, "You guys skate together all the time. You guys look like you play really well together." And so again, that's just talent doing what talent does. We've got enough talent where we can look like a talented team together. But I think when it comes down to it, the travel team I grew up on, there were certain guys that I knew where they were going to be. Like I just knew. I didn't have to look where they were going to be at. I could tell you within 6 inches where they would be at on the rink, depending on where I had the puck or what play was happening. I knew that I could pinch a guy hard into the corner because I knew I had a forward. Depending on which forward was out there, I knew that they were going to back check to a certain point. I knew that they were going to carry their guy. Like I knew all of that, right? And so I knew those things because I'd played with those guys for years and years and years and years. And so it just takes time to develop that sort of stuff with guys.
I think if the Chicago trip happens, we'll be against, because I know all three of the teams that we would be playing against. I think it would be right exact same level as the the Zeros team. Like it's not going to be like the meat on meat Jacksonville team where they're
I don't
extremely
want to do
good. Yeah, we're not playing against teams like that. The teams are exactly like the Zeros team.
that. Yeah.
So when I say Zeros, I mean the Zeros Nashville, not the Zeros C League. But um, yeah, I think the teams, all three teams that Chelly offered up to us are exactly in our wheelhouse. So
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah,
a
that'd
good
be good.
time. So
We'll see. See if we can make it work. I know a handful of guys are trying to get in on it. So,
yeah,
oh man. All right. We've rolled for 50 minutes. We don't want to belabor and drag you guys too much longer here. We know an hour is kind of the cap. Seymour has the, was it Seymour that has the new one or the,
Seymour
no?
has the record.
Does she have the record now or was it Pete and Cooch? I think it was Pete and Cooch have the record still. I don't think we did a full, I don't think we did the long, I think
Oh, you're
Pete and
right.
Cooch were like the 118 or something like that. So
Yeah.
we're not going
The
to try to compete
degenerates.
for that because we don't want the degenerates. So not going to try to compete for that. So we'll have more stories, guys. We'll have another podcast coming up soon. We got a lot of guests still. We've been talking to a lot of our good friends that want to jump on here, talk hockey, and just generally clown around with us a little bit. So appreciate you guys listening. Thanks again for all the support, seeing us out in the community, telling us you're listening. We love it. Keep doing it. Keep listening. Peace.
Bye.